It's true for preachers as well as anybody else. Man said to his congregation, he said, it's a shame what you have to look at these days. Why, just today, your beloved pastor almost ran into a tree. Everybody has the same problem. Whosoever looketh upon a woman to lust after her in his heart has already committed adultery. And the old preacher said it's not so much that you see a woman and you realize, or you see somebody and you kind of have a thought. That's not the problem so much. It's he that looketh to lust. It's when you go around the block 3 times that you have a thought. You control those particular actions. So this, is anybody here today? So, is it acceptable to God? Your thoughts have to be under control. 2 Corinthians 10:5, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Don't you think it's time we look at some of these scriptures again and ask ourselves, God, are you happy with us? Are we as disciplined as we ought to be? You also need to control your words. Thoughts and words. James chapter 1, verse number 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, and slow to speak, and slow to wrath. So the Bible is suggesting here that we control our thoughts. James chapter 1, verse number 19. Acts chapter 26 and verse number 25. But he said, I am not mad, most noble Festus, but speak forth the words of truth and soberness. What kind of words do you speak? You say, well, I'm not talking to the king. It doesn't matter who you're talking to. How can you witness a person after you talk foolishness to them? Now, I have a sense of humor. But there's a difference between a sense of humor and foolishness. I use humor in my preaching. But I have to make sure it doesn't go into foolishness, because everybody needs gravitas. Look the word up. You can't really be effective as a father without gravitas. You're not a good mother without gravitas. You certainly can't be a pastor, or a preacher, or a politician, or a prophet without gravitas. And sometimes they get a very talented politician, and they have to find people to help teach that politician the meaning and the importance of gravitas. Because there comes a time when you have to do things soberly. And sometimes you have to do things truthfully. And sometimes you have to be a reflection of authority. You have to have a serious kind of side to you. Gravitas. So control your words. Control your words. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse number 10. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips, that they speak no guile. Sister Mooney and I, how many times have we talked, Nikki? What is it about people that makes them so stupid? I think our good brother Mullins from California, bless his heart, he said it better than that, you know. You know, my Midwestern crassness sometimes gets me in trouble. He said, people are pitiful. Because people are constantly doing the very thing that the Bible says will destroy your life. If you love life and you want to see good days, then refrain your tongue from evil. You can't just be out blasting away. And I believe this is applicable to the internet. You can't just get on the internet. We got some backslidden young men who believe they're preachers that get on Slapaholic, and I hate to advertise the page for you, but I will face them eyeball to eyeball and tell you this is an evil that they perpetrate. Blasting everything that's holy and righteous and good. I'm sorry that I didn't have any more influence. Every day I ask God to help me and forgive me, and I examine myself why I could not have more influence on these young men. Now, if you want to play church, you're in the wrong church. Because we're right down to the last days, my brothers and sisters, and you better figure out what you believe and who you believe in. I just want to say to it, I want to say it, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God, above all, through all, in you all. And we're not just horsing around here. Somewhere we got to decide that we're going to be Christians, we're going to live for God. And if you love life and want to see good days, refrain your tongue from evil. And your lips, be careful that they speak no guile. You don't have permission to say anything you want to lie about anybody, to make up anything.
That's right.
You say, well, I don't want to go to a church that has all these disciplines. These are not church disciplines, per se. These are life disciplines.
Living.
These are the kind of things that men should know about living, and women should know, and people should know, and business people should know, and doctors should know, and attorneys should know, and wives should know, and husbands should know. You can't just be an old grouchy, ragged, your mouth all the time woman and expect your husband to want to come home at night. About all he wants to do is commit suicide and not come home at all, except in a bath. And you can't be a husband that never ever feels like you've got the right kind of deal. And you want to be able to do anything you want to do, flirt with anything that walks down the street, have any kind of attitude and any kind of spirit, never bring discipline and obedience into your life, and expect your wife to respect you and admire you, like you're some kind of movie star, some kind of actress because you got a couple hairs on your chest. Control your words. Matthew chapter 12. That last remark needed no further commentary. Matthew chapter 12, verse 36 and 37. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be just. Come on, say it. Justified. And by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Your words. You think your words don't matter? Your attitude doesn't matter? Your spirit doesn't matter?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Self-control. Control your words. Control your words, James chapter 4, verse number 11. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law and judgeth the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge.